The pounding on my front door hit like a SWAT raid on a sunny Saturday afternoon. There stood Karen Whitaker, HOA president of Oakwood Estates. Her face twisted in that special mix of fake concern and pure venom. Phone already dialing. "This little gathering violates every community standard we have," she hissed. Loud enough for my daughter's friends to hear. "I'm calling the police right now." She thought she was delivering justice. What she didn't realize was that I'd been waiting for this exact moment for 18 months. Binder of receipts thicker than her ego sitting on the kitchen counter. I moved to Oakwood Estates thinking I'd finally found the reset button. Fresh divorce papers in the glove box. My 10-year-old daughter Lily in the back seat clutching her stuffed giraffe. In a modest 3-bedroom with a backyard pool that sparkled like hope. The neighborhood looked like every American dream commercial, manicured lawns. Kids on bikes. Flags waving gently. Peaceful. Safe. Exactly what a single dad needed after the chaos of the last few years. That illusion lasted exactly 4 days. Karen showed up on day 5 wearing a pastel cardigan and a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Welcome to Oakwood, Ryan," she said, extending a perfectly manicured hand. "I'm Karen Whitaker, president of the HOA. We like to keep things harmonious here." The way she said harmonious made it sound like a threat. She handed me the 30-page rulebook like it was the Bible. Just a few guidelines to maintain our property values. Nothing a responsible homeowner can't handle. I smiled, nodded, and thanked her. Inside, I was already taking notes. The first fine arrived 2 weeks later. $75 for excessive weed growth in my backyard. The grass was maybe half an inch taller than the neighbors. The second came from my trash cans being visible from the street for 12 minutes past pickup time. The third was for Lily's chalk drawings on the driveway. Apparently temporary art counted as visual pollution. Each notice came with that same crisp white envelope and Karen's looping signature at the bottom. But the real poison was the whispers. I started noticing neighbors crossing the street when they saw me. Carol from 2 doors down suddenly couldn't make eye contact. The dad who used to wave when I took Lily to the bus stop now stared at his phone. Karen had been busy. The rumor mill claimed I was that unstable single father throwing questionable gatherings and letting the property go. None of it was true. I mowed every Saturday. I kept the pool clean. I was raising my daughter quietly. But in Karen's kingdom, facts were optional when community standards were at stake. I didn't fight back. Not yet. I smiled politely at HOA meetings. Paid the stupid fines. And started a private folder on my laptop. Every violation notice. Every time-stamped photo of my perfectly acceptable yard. Every email where Karen selectively enforced rules on me but ignored the Johnsons' permanent Christmas lights or the Millers' rusting boat in their driveway for 6 months. I printed everything. Organized it chronologically. Highlighted the contradictions. I became a ghost in my own neighborhood, quiet, compliant, and dangerously observant. Then came Lily's 10th birthday. She'd been through enough with the divorce. I wanted her to have one normal, happy day. Nothing crazy, just a dozen kids from her class. A couple of neighbor families I'd actually gotten friendly with. Some burgers on the grill. In the pool. I checked the HOA rules 3 times. No amplified music after 7 p.m. We had none. Maximum occupancy for private gatherings wasn't even mentioned unless it was a commercial event. This was kids eating watermelon and playing Marco Polo. Harmless. I sent polite notes to the neighbors on either side. Got thumbs-ups from both. Even invited Karen's own daughter through a mutual mom. Thinking maybe olive branch time. Big mistake. The party started at 2 p.m. On a bright June afternoon. Sun shining. Kids screaming with joy. Lily in her new swimsuit beaming like I hadn't seen in years. I was flipping burgers when the doorbell rang. No. Not rang. Hammered. I opened the door and there was Karen in full battle mode. Perfect blonde bob. Pearl earrings. Clipboard in one hand. Phone in the other. Behind her, two of her HOA cronies stood like backup singers in khakis. "Ryan," she said in that syrupy voice she used when she was about to stab someone. "This gathering is in clear violation of Section 4.2 of the Covenants, unauthorized assemblies that could impact property values and resident tranquility." I blinked. "It's my daughter's birthday party." Karen. 12 kids. No music. No alcohol. Burgers and pool noodles. Her smile tightened. "The rule is clear. Any gathering of more than 8 non-residents requires prior board approval. You've got... what? 15 people here? And the noise, children shrieking like that affects everyone's peace." One of the kids cannonballed into the pool right then. Laughter exploding. Karen's eye twitched. I kept my voice calm. "We've had smaller playdates before. Never an issue." "That's because I was being neighborly," she snapped, dropping the polite mask for a second. "But enough is enough. This stops now or I'm calling the sheriff's department. We take quality of life very seriously here." The kids had gone quiet. Watching. Lily looked at me with those big worried eyes. I stepped outside, closing the door gently behind me. "Karen, let's be real. This isn't about the rules. This is about you not liking that I exist here as a single dad who won't kiss your ring. You've been spreading rumors about me for months. Unstable. Bad influence. All because I dared to question one of your fines." Her cronies shifted uncomfortably. Karen's cheeks flushed. "How dare you accuse me of?" "I dare," I said quietly. "Because I've got 18 months of documentation proving selective enforcement. Harassment. And at least 2 cases where you used HOA funds for your own patio furniture. Want to keep going? Or should we wait for the police so they can see this too?" For the first time, something like uncertainty flickered across her face. Then the mask slammed back down. She dialed. "Hi. This is Karen Whitaker from Oakwood Estates. We have an unauthorized and disruptive gathering at 142 Maplewood Drive." "Yes." The single father again. "He's refusing to comply." She hung up with a triumphant little smirk. "They'll be here in 10 minutes. I suggest you start clearing these people out." I nodded slowly. "You know what? Let's do this properly." I went inside, grabbed the thick black binder I'd prepared months ago, and walked back out just as 2 sheriff's deputies pulled up. The whole party had migrated to the front yard now, kids, parents, everyone watching the show. The lead deputy, a no-nonsense guy named Ramirez, approached. "What's the problem here?" Karen launched in immediately. "Officer, this resident is hosting an unapproved gathering in violation of our covenants. The noise, the number of people, it's affecting the entire street. We've tried reasoning with him repeatedly." Ramirez looked at the dozen kids in swimsuits holding popsicles. Then back at Karen. "Ma'am, this looks like a kid's birthday party." "It's the principal," she insisted, voice rising. "Rules are rules. If we let one person ignore them, the whole neighborhood falls apart." I handed the binder to Ramirez. "Officer, I've documented every single fine and notice Karen, Mrs. Whitaker, has issued me over the past year and a half. You'll see they're almost all on my property. while other homes with actual violations get passes. Photos. Dates. Emails. There's also evidence of her misusing HOA funds and selectively enforcing rules based on personal grudges, including spreading false rumors that I've been unstable and a bad influence on the community. Karen laughed. But it came out shaky. This is ridiculous. He's just trying to deflect. Ramirez was already flipping pages. His partner leaned in. I watched Karen's eyes dart to the binder, then to the growing crowd of neighbors who had wandered over to watch. Carol was there. The Johnsons. Even her own daughter. Looking embarrassed. Ma'am, Ramirez said to Karen. This seems like a civil matter. But some of these allegations. Misappropriation of funds? That's potentially criminal. You might want to contact your board. Karen's perfectly tan face went pale. You can't be serious. I'm the president. I'm protecting this community. From a bunch of 10-year-olds eating cake? I asked mildly. The second deputy muttered something about another HOA clown show. Karen heard it. Her hands started trembling. Then came the beautiful part. One by one, neighbors started speaking up. Carol stepped forward. Actually, officer, Ryan's been the quietest guy on the street. Karen's been targeting him since he moved in. She told me he was probably on drugs because he works from home. Never once saw any evidence. Another dad added. Yeah. And my boat's been in the driveway for 4 months. No fine. But Ryan gets dinged for chalk on the driveway? Karen's cronies were slowly backing away, suddenly very interested in their shoes. Her voice cracked. This is a conspiracy. You're all violating the covenants by. Ma'am, Ramirez cut in firmly. I think you need to step back. This isn't a police matter. But if these documents check out, the county attorney's office might want to take a look at how the HOA's been run. The party didn't end. In fact, more neighbors brought over extra chairs and snacks. Lily got the best birthday of her life, complete with an impromptu game of watch Karen have a meltdown from a safe distance. The real collapse came in the weeks that followed. The binder went to the county, then to a lawyer who specialized in HOA abuse. Turns out Karen had been creatively interpreting rules for years, finding people she didn't like while overlooking violations from her friends. The misspent funds? Her new patio set and that expensive community appreciation dinner that was really just her and her inner circle at a steakhouse. An emergency HOA meeting was called. I showed up with copies for everyone. The room was packed. For once, people weren't afraid to speak. When the vote came to remove her as president, it wasn't even close. Karen stood up. Face blotchy. Voice shrill. After everything I've done for this neighborhood. The order. The standards. Someone in the back yelled. The only standard you cared about was your own power. Karen. She stormed out. Her husband followed, looking like he wanted the floor to swallow him. The neighborhood changed almost overnight. People started talking again. Actual block parties happened, approved ones. Sure. But relaxed. The new board rewrote some of the most ridiculous rules. My fines were refunded with apologies. Lily made real friends whose parents didn't cross the street anymore. I still live in Oakwood Estates. The house feels like home now. Not a battlefield. Lily swims in the pool almost every evening. And sometimes I catch her teaching the new kids how to cannonball. As for Karen, last I heard she moved to a condo downtown. No HOA. Funny how that works. She thought the rules made her untouchable. She forgot the most important one, when you weaponize community against actual community. Eventually the community fights back. So tell me, when Karen called the cops on a little girl's birthday party, was she just doing her job enforcing the rules? Or was she a bully who finally met someone who kept receipts? Was I the troublemaker for documenting everything? Or was the real crime letting one woman turn a neighborhood into her personal fiefdom? Drop your thoughts below. Who's really in the wrong here, the guy who fought back quietly? Or the Karen who thought the HOA rulebook made her God? Hit like if you've ever dealt with one of these power-tripping HOAs. And subscribe for more stories where the little guy finally gets to smile.